Attention. Attention.
Hi, have I got your attention? Great. Hey, this is Steve Agee. Hey, did you know I have a podcast here on Feral Audio? It's called Steve Agee. Of course you didn't, because they never advertise it. I don't know if you haven't noticed this or not, but lately Feral's been doing a lot of advertising of all their new podcasts, which is great. There's some really great podcasts, but there's also a lot of really great podcasts that have been around since the beginning, like mine. That's right. I've had a podcast here. I've done almost 80 episodes, you guys. I've had guests like Juliette Lewis, Weird Al Yankovic, Liam Lynch, Diablo Cody, Kumail Nanjiani, Rich Fulcher, Phil Lamar, Adam Goldberg, Mikey Schumann, and Troy Van Leeuwen from Queens of the Stone Age. Guys, the list goes on. You should give my podcast a listen. I'm sorry, does anybody else hear that dripping?
Hi, it's Dan Harmon. If you're like me, you're a big fan of Harmontown, the podcast, and you wish that you didn't have to wait so long for it to drop after we record it. But here's the thing. Jeff Spencer, take it.
You do not have to wait.
You can not only hear it right after it happens, you can watch it too in delicious, deluxe, high-definition multicam on your browser or your mobile phone.
We do edit some stuff out sometimes. Like, I'll say something so incredibly racist that we will catch it right before it drops as a podcast.
But you get to watch Dan right before the sedition hearing when he talks shit about Trump again.
Right.
Sometimes we have really famous guests, but we just cut it out of the podcast entirely.
Because it turns out they're pedophiles.
Sometimes Spencer's never wearing a shirt.
Most of the time. We put that in post.
Not to mention all the times you always hear people laughing at something that doesn't sound funny because someone is making a funny face or wearing a funny shirt.
Yeah, for $5 you get to watch all that stuff. You can see the weirdos sitting down, like getting nervous on camera. There's like one camera that's just right up someone's nose, and they're always picking their nose and stuff like that. That's good.
As if that wasn't enough, here's some political incentive. We will match your new subscription to the Harmontown live feed up until April 15th. The day of the big tax march. We'll match it with a donation to the ACLU,
which stands for a clue, which is what you should get.
And I know that's triggering your thought of going, doesn't the ACLU now have $800 million? Because, but here's the thing. ACLU money is like toilet paper money. It never expires.
But if political encouragement weren't enough, some apolitical encouragement is if you sign up, you get access to a year and a half of our back catalog of video episodes, including the tour in Australia and Harmon Country, as well as audio downloads on the night of the record, on just minutes after it airs.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how many times have you been listening to Harmontown for free after Wednesday and thought, I would really want to know what that guy looks like or what she looks like, or I want to see exactly how uncomfortable the audience is when Adam Goldberg is on stage. Mm-hmm. Now, for $5 a month, you get to see it as well as hear it. You can almost taste the Harmontown. Go to harmontown.com/live for your subscription to watch us as well as hear us. It really, really is a taste treat. Dan gave me little eyebrows.
I was like, holy shit, that guy just hit the bullseye. I think it's a taste treat.
Feral Audio.
I sing this in the shower all the time. If you know the words, sing along.
Get used to it. Used to it. Get used to it.
Everybody.
Get used to it. Used to it. Get used to it. It's worse the closer you get.
From Meltdown's Comics, Harmontown is now in session. Let's bring out the mayor of Harmontown, Dan Harmon, everybody.
Thank you.
It's a good song.
So it's Emmy night, and And I just flew back from Milwaukee, and so bad show tonight. It's a bad show tonight. But you guys braved traffic, and I thank you for that.
I was in Milwaukee doing in town to do a show with the Who's Live Anyway with Ryan Stiles and Greg Proops and Joel Murray, and I get a text from Cody, Dan's girlfriend. Are you in Milwaukee? Yeah. I'm at this spy-themed bar restaurant called the Safe House. I'm staying at the Pfister Hotel, the hilariously named Pfister Hotel.
Their slogan is, "You brought her."
Yeah. You were in town for a grandma funeral, right?
Yeah, my dad's mom passed away. She accomplished her mission. She was just pushing 90, and the dementia, which we're learning new things about this. Like we all maybe have it. Like we all just kind of have it in varying degrees, and then but like. It's really kind of like the tragically typical way that a story ends is that my parents were moving her in the process of helping her move because the dementia had gotten to a point where she really needed to live with people. Her husband had passed a while ago. And while packing, like just the energy and the confusion of like, when you're a person with in that stage of dementia, all of a sudden your shit's being put in boxes and all this stuff, and something got triggered where she's like, I gotta check on my I gotta get the cat from the basement. She doesn't have a cat in the basement, and she fell down the stairs and broke her hip, and they took her to the hospital. And then this is just the tragic ironies of like, this is just like Joseph Campbell, like we have to accept that our lives, the last parts of them are like, if you can't be attached to this flesh because the way we go out is so just ridiculous. If we're lucky enough to make it through a healthy life and just have this chassis just rust and fall apart, you have to, because it just gets so, from there it just gets so cartoonish because it's like you have dementia and you have a broken hip, so then they're like, we can't give her a new hip because she won't be able to participate in her recovery because she'll forget she has a bionic hip, which you need sentience and participation in order to have one of those things take. She'll forget, and she'll step on it the wrong way, and she won't know what's going on, and it'll get all fucked up, and it'll be a fate worse than a peaceful death for her. Not that was the only thing. She went into a coma. But it's also like, then you also think like, oh, if she comes out of this coma, then she's going to be in, with her dementia, she's going to be in bed with a broken hip for the remainder of her life, which if those things start to heal, they heal wrong. And so you have to re-break them. And she'll be coming in and out of continuity and relearning every 5 minutes. Oh shit, I have an incredibly painful, thing that I didn't know about. Like, just imagine like that horrible kind of fate, which is like probably really common, like, or you kind of like dementia being a very common way that we go out, like just that CD skipping and that relationship with like just this other really common thing, which is we all tend to kind of fall off a porch and break our hip. So this is sad. I'm not trying to bring everybody down, but if I did, it would go something like that. but I mean, I think that's, you're 25, you're listening to the podcast, it's like the obvious message from that is carpe diem, and like get your licks in, play some Monopoly with your family, which is what I did.
But it was such a trip. Like we're driving into town. We're like bussing into town. We'd done a show like in Lansing or something like that the night before that. We're driving to Milwaukee, and I point towards the historic Third Ward. Right, that's down where the original Comedy Sports was. Right. Mm-hmm. Or not the original one, but the one that I met you at.
Yeah, you were like around the corner from where SCHRAB and I did Comedy Sports before we left for LA.
And it's like I was saying to the guys on the bus, I'm like, oh, it's like right down there. In 1994, that's where I met Dan Harmon and Rob SCHRAB, And then I get a text an hour later, and you're there, and you came to our show, and you watched me do improv. And I was at this restaurant, this spy-themed restaurant called Safe House, and you're like, that's where I first did stand-up. Like,
I would be like 17 and like, because they have like this spy theme there that made it an easier place to be underage and do stand-up, because the spy theme was like, what's the password? And you're like, gibble gobble gooble, and so like you could kind of like sneak.
What is the password, by the way?
They had their eyes less on the prize of like law enforcement and more on like this whole like, are you James Bond, and like go through the bookcase and all this stuff.
I had to dance around like a chicken for 10 seconds. And then I didn't know that I'm also on camera in the bar.
Yeah, that's the idea. There is that the people in the front room, like it's basically just like Rocky Horror Picture Show. Are you a virgin or have you been here before? You know, it's like the password is where it was when I was going there. I'm looking for a safe house. First of all, that's not a word. Second of all, that's what your enemies are going to say.
If I had said to the gal, because like you walk in there's no sign for it. There was me and this other woman, like early 30s gal, like walking up, and she's like, "Do you know where this place is?" I'm like, "I'm looking. I just Yelped Veggie Burger, and that's why I'm here." And she's like, I was like, "Oh," and then there's a girl like dressed like as a little secretary, and there's a switchboard, and it's all old timey. And she's like, "Do you guys know the password?" And it says like international exports, something like that. And she's like, "Do you know the password?" I'm like, "No, I don't." And she's like, "Well, then I'm going to send you on a mission to Old McDonald's farm. You have to cluck like a chicken and dance around in circles for 10 seconds. If I had said no, like I want to go have a veggie burger, she would have let me in, right? She's not allowed to say, "Go fuck yourself."
No, I don't know. I'm sure that's a subject of every morning meeting there, depending on how business is doing. You know, I don't know. I maybe for happy hour. I don't know if like that guy from Bar Rescue came in. Maybe he'd yell at them and go, "You're turning people away. What's out the door? What's out the door? What do you see out there? A street? A street in." A city? Which city? Milwaukee, the biggest cheese and beer capital in the world. You need to turn around. I've rescued your bar. It's called Cheese Ballers. Anyway, sorry, I got carried away doing observational comedy on a basic cable show.
Were you doing an impression of an actual thing, or
yeah,
are you having a stroke right there?
John Taffer is like, you've never seen Bar Rescue? You gotta watch a couple episodes of Bar Rescue.
Fucking no, I don't.
I'll give you some starter points. First, Bar Rescue. Watch the Pirate Bar episode. I think it's in Pittsburgh. Is that where it is?
Maryland.
Where Maryland?
Yeah, it's my hometown.
Wait, Maryland. Okay.
It's in Silver Spring, Maryland.
Okay. But also, no matter what episode you watch it with your laptop open to Facebook and just type in the name of the bar while you're watching the episode, because the episode always ends with it being rescued, and then you go to their Facebook page, and there's always a blog entry that's like, "So here's the thing, these fuckers, like they left, and then just Blazing Saddles fell apart. Like they installed some unlicensed beer taps in the walls that were shaped like hands because he said that hands were an important thing with our demographic, and now there's just hands dripping illegal booze everywhere. The bar they made was out of 1x4s. Is like had termite eggs in it.
Was Blazing Saddles in there? Is that an actual one?
No. I'm saying like Blazing Saddles, they make a fake town, and like it's like they kind of like they're a TV show. I mean, TV shows have line producers. Line producers' jobs are to like save money. Rescuing a bar and saving money for the TV show about how the bar got rescued largely entails making it look a lot like a rescued bar from certain angles, and then leaving as it falls apart behind you. That's how you keep your job as a line producer.
Did I meet this person through you? The person is there a gay bar called Blazing Saddles? It's kind of like. I mean, it's got to be you, Dan, because you're my go-to for gay bar information.
It sounds like a rehab program.
I forget who told me the story, but like this guy, is there a gay bar called Blazing Saddles where it's kind of like Coyote Ugly where they dance, but it's all gay bar and stuff? And apparently it's like a huge money making like enterprise. This guy was married a woman. she cheated on him right off the bat, but her family was the mob. Like she was like straight up like mafia family. And this guy married into this family, and she cheated on him, but the family didn't want any disgrace. So the mob boss said to this guy, like he was just telling the story to this woman, like at another bar in New York. Maybe Dino told me the story. Like my wife cheated on me, and I went, and her father called me in and said, look, it's not going to be public. We're not going to talk about it. She cheated on you. We know about it. Anything you want. They gave him a bag of money, like, and said, whatever you need, let me know. And he goes, I want to open a bar. And because he'd met this woman at another bar and said, I want to open a gay bar called Blazing Saddles where the people get up and dance around, whatever. He's not gay. He'd never opened a bar. And so he went to the guy and said, you're like, you can't open a bar in New York without the mob's consent, because you like you have to, like, there's so much.
I think I read that on the subreddit. Yeah.
So he opened a gay bar with this person with a bag full of mob money and the mob's like blessing, and now he's like worth a fucking fortune because his wife
Mel
cheated
Brooks
on him.
made the movie based on the bar, or that
It might not be called Blazing Saddles. I think it is.
All throughout the story, I was like, I can't do it with the perfect joke. It's like, Jeff, you just remember you don't have a cat in the basement. Do
I have dementia? Did I make this whole thing up?
Well, we all do. Is what I'm.
I went and saw Blazing Saddles in the theater. They showed it at the ArcLight because of Gene Wilder's sad demise. Went and saw one of my favorite movies of all time, Blazing Saddles. It was so fun to watch it. People that knew the movie laughing like crazy. Millennials that had never seen it were like bummed out because there's N-bombs. N-bombs galore.
Well, I mean, I when I watch that movie, apparently I am running a millennial emulator because I'm always like, what the fuck? Like, this is like Spaceballs in the West. That's all. Anyways, but
so funny though.
Well, let's bring out Rob SCHRAB.
Rob SCHRAB. He's Rob SCHRAB. He's Rob SCHRAB. Rob SCHRAB.
He's the best
friend.
What?
Okay.
Wait. I
heard you.
I don't know about this technology yet. Can I get a little more of that?
Apparently, some guy named Reggie Watts knows about it. That's what I learned last week. Because I was listening to hip hop because I was like, as I was playing, I didn't want to become I didn't want to become like the rapping guy that like is rapping like 20 years ago. This is unavoidable. I mean, I was never, but I said,
your name's Dan Harmon, and you're here to say that you like to do a rap almost every day.
When's the last time you listened to anything rap-oriented? And so I went to my Apple Music with my little wrinkled finger, and I pressed play on some picture of a rapping man, and I listened for 10 songs, and I was like, holy shit, these guys, number one, very sad, very lonely, very, 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 very emo, really, I think it was what we would have called it, but also very auto-tuned. And by auto-tuned, I mean no autonomy and no tune. Like it's just the whole. It's like it's the same as with record scratching, like when in the 80s, where it was like it just because of Herbie Hancock and the like everyone for a large period of time you had to have record scratching in your song, but it's like it's like everyone has to be auto-tuned.
Yeah.
Can you do share voice? Share voice? Share voice?
Well, do you, Dan, I think what Rob is asking is if you believe in life after love.
Yeah, I mean, this is a vocoder. I don't think it simulates.
Give it a shot.
It doesn't.
Do I believe? Do I believe in? Do I believe in things? Yo, what do I believe in? Do I believe in Bigfoot? Do I believe in leprechauns? A little short Irishmen that grant wishes. I fucked your mama so hard she did the dishes. I went to the kitchen, said quit you bitch, I'm gonna give you a lichin'. So I gave her a lichin'. She said, what's this? I said, don't ask. I went up to the attic and installed some insulation. Weatherproof in your home? Do you believe in weatherproof in your home? How can you proof against something that's a phenomenon older than your own species? Ants don't weatherproof. Yo, dance isn't weatherproof. Yick, yick, a yickety yak. You fucked your mama so hard I put her pussy in a tater sack. She won a 3-legged race with my dick at a father-daughter picnic. That's how hard I fucked her. I fucked your mama so hard she became a Boy Scout event. Yo, but back to the things you believe in or not. Yo, Dateline Loch Ness. I fucked your mama, tore her dress. It was consensual. She lied to be ravished. That's what they called it back then. Ravishing. Hashtag rape culture.
Okay, all right.
Hashtag rap culture.
No.
Bringing it back, taking back the night. I went on the banks of Loch Ness and studied all night until I saw a little head coming out. Took a photo of it and screamed and shout, I proved it, I believe in the Loch Ness Monster. Yo, that shit was a log. It was a piece of floating wood. Cautionary tale, those airplane tickets cost me $8,000.
Wow.
It's like I never left. It's like I never left. That was amazing. Thank you.
What, we have been just living in twilights until you had this thing.
Yeah.
I have good ideas about what the show needs. We need a big screen up here so that they can see stuff that we bring up, and then we could do the whole Graham Norton thing. I could go, look at this dog on the internet, and everybody would be like, whoa, dude, we could be Ellen in a week.
I want to look at the dog. I want to look at the dog.
Yeah, you want to look at the dog.
I want to look at the dog.
But you know what?
You can't look at the dog when
your show is whack.
Maybe that should be on a stand or something. It looks cool when you bend over like that.
I don't think there's any reason to do anything but you doing that with that vocoder.
I kind of did that last week. You gotta listen to the show. I kind of overdid it last week.
I was working, man.
I know. No, I wasn't yelling at you.
Yeah. I heard it was a good show, though. I heard you and Andy Dick got down to some serious.
Yeah, we tried. Talk. I'd like to have Andy back. Andy was I thought Andy was wonderful. I would like to have him back. He told a story about being Andy Dick at a Starbucks. I thought it was kind of enthralling.
Yeah.
Whew, I'm out of breath from bending over to press comedy rap buttons. There were warning signs. I gotta get on that elliptical, man.
You have one?
Steve Levy's nodding his head.
Do you have one at the crib? You got an elliptical at the house?
Yeah.
You don't use it?
I'm getting around to it. I need a special outfit. I can't get on it in my underwear.
You're at your own house. You can do whatever you like.
You need a tracksuit.
Yeah, I need a special suit.
Special tracksuit with your name on it.
Pop over, Dan. Go to Lululemon and treat yourself. Even though there's sweatshops and
what that means. Is that a new sponsor? All right.
I'm sure they could be.
Can we talk? I'd like to talk about something because I've done a lot of traveling. I just want to talk. Okay. The airlines, this airline, that airline, they're the worst, they're the best, whatever. What? All of them, all the airlines. What the fuck is going on? What is our relationship supposed to be with that fucking seatbelt sign? What is it supposed to symbolize? What does it mean? Like, the more questions you ask, the more data you gather, the more experiments you do, whether it's getting up when that thing's lit, or waiting for it to turn green, or having a conversation with one of these people. Like, it's like all the truth that just comes to light is like, well, okay, if we had it our way, you'd always be sitting. Okay, but you can't always sit. You're on a fucking plane for 3 hours. So there's a light that's just always on that's like, it's a green light with a picture of a seatbelt with the arrow going, the seatbelt is unlatched, but the arrow is going like this, like this seatbelt's going to get latched on the sign. Okay, so that would seem to indicate, fasten your seatbelts, everybody, which they make you do at the top of the flight. They never turn that fucking thing off, ever. If you ever have to take a shit, like, they don't, you just get up and you're like, you know, it's always random, the interaction you have. They're like, we'd like you to sit. And so if you really have to take a shit real bad, you go, I gotta take a shit real bad. And they're like, well, I have no legal right to stop you.
Yeah, they're not allowed to, if you want to get up, you can get up. And you can go do it. But they are legally bound to say, we don't advise it. We can't say you should.
Yeah, so expressing that with a sign that's like just a thing that's lit up, like that's just Boy Who Cried Wolf, because it's just like, okay, so I'm just going to ignore everything that you do, like, because, like, what is this?
My sign problem on planes is that there's the sign for the lavatory, and it's a man and a woman, and the woman is designed as there's a man and a woman standing in between. There's a sink in between them,
right?
As on a pedestal, and
I thought
it's
that was a toilet.
Yeah, or it's a little sink kind of thing.
It's a basin.
It's a basin in the middle on a pedestal. But the thing is, if you turn that basin over, that's the woman's dress. She's dressed like an upside down sink. I find that very diminishing.
Like she's a receptacle.
Yeah, or
an agent of hygiene.
I don't know.
Maybe they're cleaner than us.
Like, next time, look at that sink, and then look at the woman. She's just an upside-down sink with a head on top of it.
They don't know what they're doing on these things, and it's disturbing because obviously I probably don't have to point this out. It's like a 90-ton piece of metal that they fling into the air and rely on some weird pre-Newtonian principle to just keep it going like a paper airplane. Those things aren't like spaceships where it's like, you know, there's thrusters and stuff on there, but really the whole thing is like there's like little fans in there that if the plane's already in the air, it tends to stay in the air. That's what a turbine is, as I understand it. Just air's rushing through the thing, and then the things spin because air's coming through, and because the things spin, the plane stays up. Like, there's a problem with that system. If that thing gets what if someone turns the air off? Like God. Which he sometimes does, and probably will if we keep this up.
If one of the engines
turn off the wind, he's gonna
turn off the. What if God just says, okay, for the next 10 seconds, I just want to. Can I get everyone's attention?
Well, put
please?
your seatbelt on. If God, hey, I don't know what the symbol is, but if God turns off the air, ladies and gentlemen, please put your seatbelt on. Put your seatbelt on.
I asked
God just turned off the air. Put your seatbelt on and hug the person next to you.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's an ungodly thing getting on these things, and people are dying all the time, and I just like we don't pay any attention to it. We're just like, do you think the guy in the cockpit has a degree in this shit? Like he I don't know. I don't think so. I think he's wearing like a little Captain Crunch outfit, and like I from my experience, like the average person is an idiot, like just the average person, because the average IQ is 100.
Yeah.
Do you want a 100 IQ man flying your plane or lady?
Nice save.
Just as stupid as men. Give yourselves a hand. He's just, I mean, it's like with the epaulets and the things, and it's like it feels like compensation, like, doesn't it? It's
Man,
like,
those epaulets. Wow, those epaulets are really bringing me down, man.
I just don't believe the way I.
What is
react
the thing
with
about
my-
the why the epaulets though? What? There's no function there.
Yeah, what's it with those epaulets?
Because if they dressed the way that they only the level that they needed to, you'd be even more freaked out because he would look like a Time Warner cable guy.
So they have to look
true.
We're more comforted when they dress like Captain Crunch. We think, okay,
We
this
want
guy,
that, yeah.
This guy.
I want more of that. Like if a guy with like 2 sets of epaulets came on, I would be, holy shit, we got a really good pilot here.
And they kind of do like a good cop, bad cop thing.
Yeah.
Like if the stock is wavering, they're like, we got to amp this up. Let's do scenario 7. So it's like a guy comes on with epaulets and he goes, everybody buckle up. We're gonna go over the Grand Canyon, and then another guy comes on with like 2 epaulets and goes like, "Get out of here! Get out of here! Go over the Grand Canyon. That's a big hole."
Yeah.
Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen.
I'd be up front, like, yeah, come on.
Thank you for flying United. I'm Captain. No, Colonel. John Jammerthumb.
Yeah.
We're gonna fly around the Grand Canyon.
Nice.
Like you should when there's a big hole in the earth. That's the whole point of a plane, to not crash into shit. Don't fly over the Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fly around it.
You can
buckle up. You know what? Don't buckle up. Because it won't matter.
Turn the light off.
Do jumping jacks. Take 2 iPads, plug them both in, and rub them on a laptop, and do little Elvis kicks. Because if I'm doing my job right, that's what you can do. Because that's what rich people do when they get in their private jets. They don't have seatbelts on.
Let's make an OK Go video right now. I'm gonna turn this shit upside down, Denzel style.
Denzel.
Denzel.
Yeah, I know. It's just you reduce him in stature. It's Denzel.
Denzel.
You make him sound like a forgotten reindeer. I'm Dasher. I'm Prancer. Denzel. Whatever. You're there for redundancy in case Dasher and Prancer like have a bad back.
Denzel comes off the bench if Blitzen has a sore hoof.
Or Sully.
Hey, so Cody got she got an Uber from my place after we got home from the airport, and her Uber driver's name was Strategy.
Was it really?
Yeah, no, it was
Strategy.
Well, I mean, was it? It was on the screen. Yeah,
I had a Uber guy named Beethoven.
These are guys who obviously, in their former name, they did something really terrible as an Uber driver, and they switched Uber accounts.
Oh yeah. Strategy. That's good.
Yeah, that's their other Reddit account. Because you never know, like, what can people see? What I
do? You go on Reddit? Do you have you stopped doing that? Do you look at your Reddit
for porn, or for
Reddit has porn?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it has highly sorted, curated, hierarchically arranged porn with. And you can comment on it and get upvoted and downvoted. It's everything you could ever gain from Reddit is as applicable to porn as everything else. Duncan, no, I don't really frequent Reddit because I'm a narcissist and I haven't my favorite thing about Reddit was like, you know, I'd go to Community and the Rick and Morty and the Dan Harmon and stuff, and I'm too loathsome a person and too narcissistic to continue to disappoint people as a human being on this level and then also read about myself incessantly. Uncle Dennis is here. I have a real Uncle Dennis. I met him. I'm bad at making up names, so for Uncle Dennis, I brought Uncle Dennis to your improv show.
Yeah, it was fun,
and he had a blast because he's a fan, and it was a very funny show.
Thank you.
You and Ryan Stiles did Neil Diamond and Gordon Lightfoot singing a duet, and it was really funny.
Remember when we went to see Neil Diamond in Las Vegas?
Oh, yeah.
Well, we went to see. Remember this? Do you remember? We went to see.
I remember. I didn't go, but
You didn't go? You
I was
weren't
on
there?
mushrooms, and you came back from that concert, and it was like 3 hours on a hotel room floor, listening to Rob describe the Neil Diamond concert. That was my Neil Diamond concert.
That was the best. That was the best.
I got to go backstage with Sam Slamman, who got us the tickets, and we met Neil Diamond for the show, and I was really excited about that. And as I've seen, like at that point, I said like I think I've seen him 8 times in concert. I think that was my 6th time. And so I meet Neil Diamond right before the show. And I go, Mr. Diamond, it's a pleasure to meet you. This will be my 6th time seeing you. And he takes my hand and he goes, a fan.
Awesome.
And then the grooviest part of it was that his assistant, like this big bouncer guy, like his kind of like handler and like bodyguard guy, had a wind up like disposable camera and goes, get together. And he took like snap, wind, snap. And then gave me the camera and he goes, keep it.
Neil Diamond has become a human wedding.
Yeah.
He gave you a mason jar, and he's like, "Look, free refills, and then you can use it at home."
So like, when I would go see Neil Diamond in concert, I would always try to predict what the first song he would sing would be, and I one time I was right about it, but usually you're not right because he's got a million songs. So we're leaving him, and it was me, Drew, Carrie, Sam, and I think Nick Vinay was back there too because our friend like produced like Neil Diamond a long time ago or something, and. We're leaving, and I said, well, hey, have a great show. Give him hell out there. And he goes, Neil Diamond goes like, what? Like, I was leaving. And the director of Saving Silverman was there. Like they just made that movie. So he was talking to him, and I go, give him hell. And he goes, what? I go, give him hell, man. Like, have a good show. He was like, we will. And he's like, give me a weird look. I'm like, oh, all right, man. No, I mean, like, knock him dead. Like, give him hell. It's like,
what?
Yeah.
How dare you?
So we leave, and Sam was like, what the fuck was that about? I'm like, I don't know. The first song, it was a new song he had called Give Him Hell. Totally accidental.
He's
like, how do you fucking know this shit?
You were...
He was like, you're not supposed to fucking know that, Jack.
How did that leak?
Yeah.
How did that leak in a time of no leaks? The IT guy told me it was airtight tonight. Why am I on stage with you and I'm doing Neil Diamond?
Can you auto-tune Neil Diamond, or how would that work?
Yes.
Do I have a song that might work for that? Let's see.
Wait, is it?
I don't know if I've got one that would work.
Far, we've been traveling far. Without a home. Oh wait, our home is the village of mushrooms. Because I sound like a Smurf. No, I think the answer is you can't do Neil Diamond. Auto-tune.
My friend Johnny Polanski is I played some of his music on the show before. He's a session guitar player, and he did I think 12 songs. It was like one of Neil Diamond's last records with is that Rick Rubin maybe? And so he worked with Neil for a few weeks. And as I say, like I'm a giant Neil Diamond fan, so I made him tell me 1,000 stories. Neil would come in every morning without his toupee, and he'd wear a denim jumpsuit, like a onesie. Like just denim, and then he like 10 a.m. he'd have a cognac,
like jean jammers. Sorry,
jean jammers.
Like jean jammers.
Wait a second. What? Just keep doing that. That makes me so happy. But so he would just come in with like brandy and a cigar, and he would talk. He never talked to my friend Johnny, and. When Johnny was finally done, he was wrapped on it, and he was packing up his guitar and leaving for the final day. Neil comes out of the booth, and he's like, hey, you're Johnny, right? He goes, yeah. He goes, look, I'm sorry. I didn't really get to talk to you that much. But it was really a pleasure working with you, and if I ever do another record, I want you to be on it. Because I like what you do. And Johnny's like, thanks, man. Absolutely. And he goes, Johnny, let me tell you something. You're a real motherfucker. And I mean that. And I mean that in the best possible way.
You could do worse.
Yeah, fucking Neil
You could
Diamond.
do worse than Neil Diamond
God.
calling you a motherfucker.
Despite all outward appearances, I'm straight, but I would make out with Neil Diamond. I would fucking make out with Neil Diamond. Yeah. I would have made out with Bowie. Bowie and Neil, I would totally make out with. But that's it.
Where's Spencer? Oh, Spencer is
taking a huge shit.
Spencer feels like shit, and we texted him. He said, "I'm gonna bow out of the show tonight," and he said, "I feel like shit." And we said, someone said like diarrhea, and he said, "It takes more than that to keep me down," or something like that. I paraphrase, but so whatever it is, it could be emotional diarrhea. You know, the price of Spencer psychologically. You know, like being Spencer. I mean, can you imagine what goes on up there? And that ends our Emmy predictions segment, which is why we lifted it so that you on the East Coast won't get any spoilers. You won't know that the People versus O.J. Simpson are winning everything, I think. That's what
I had a pretty good colonic this morning.
You know what? Wait. Put a pin in that for 1 second.
I did.
You did put a pin in it? Is that why you needed the high colonic?
Yeah.
Are you one of those guys? The needles and the
one
ballpoint?
of those guys. I'm your friend.
Wait, I want to know why you put a pin in Rob's pretty good colonic.
Well, because I do think it's kind of funny the idea that the O.J. Simpson thing is dominating the Emmys, because when you looked at the credits of that very enjoyable show, it was like literally everybody like if that show sweeps the Emmys, it's almost sort of like a. Like everybody worked on that. Like weren't there like Brillsteins and Grays and also like people that don't even like they were like it was the guy, the Larry Kaczynski and the Scott Alexanders and it was like every single human being that had ever made anything for television or movies had some kind of like credit on that show. So now they're like sweeping the Emmys, and it's like, are they happy or sad about that?
Is this the Travolta one?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I just wondering, you know, they go to the parties and there's like 500 people and they all have Emmys, and it's like, you guys already had them or Oscars, and and you didn't beat any of each other, so there's no satisfaction there. They must be bummed out. That's my thing. I bet they're like going to each other in like smaller groups and going like, man, this Emmy's worth nothing. I know, right? Because the guy we hated is also working on it. Yeah. All right. I guess I am different than the audience. I guess I do think about different shit.
I'm just
maybe I'm an artist.
Speaking of different shit, Rob, let's talk about your colonic.
Okay, let's talk about this high colonic. We can edit out my shitty observations about the Emmys.
It was good. Have you ever tried these colonics? They're great.
I've only never a high one.
What's a high colonic?
I don't know what a high.
It seems like if it's high, you're doing it wrong.
I don't know what you're talking about. I just have
isn't
regular.
That the high colonic is the
So you go to somebody and they put a hose up your butt. What happens?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I went to the lady, and she. I've been going for a while, and I was a little skeptical, but I'm all right with it. It's not too bad. It's good. It's good. She did say the first time I did it, it's like, I don't use an adult one. I use a child applicator, and I was like, does that mean it's like the size of a little boy's dick?
Wait.
Oh my.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Yeah. That was a roller coaster ride.
Can I rewind a little bit on that one?
I thought you were being flattered because she was implying that your butthole was as tight as a little boy's. But then you wouldn't even weird.
I don't know what's going on behind my back. All she said is like, most colonic doctors use. Well, she's not a doctor, but most colonic. She's just some person I met at a bar somewhere. She said most.
She does tarot readings and then
right. Yeah.
And then weirdly,
but I use a child
whether it's
one.
the Fool or the Death card, she's like, you know what that means.
She's saying
you got a lot of extra shit in your butt.
She said, I'm going to give you the child one because that's better than the adult one. But your thing is that you think it's supposed to be more like a little,
because it's
more
smaller.
like a little boy's penis.
Well, not a little girl's.
You think the colonic instrument is built on being a dick?
Girth?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, maybe. I'm just assuming. I don't know.
I've never had a colonic, so like
they're great.
But you sounded tentative. You said it was only pretty good.
It wasn't too bad. It was all right. I feel a lot healthier.
Do they insert the instrument up your butt?
Yes.
And so you got the baby one.
I got the baby one
because of your delicious tight little asshole.
Well, no, she didn't. She said,
your words, not mine.
She
it's
said
something I really love.
She said my colleagues use a larger gauge of animator.
Right. Diameter.
Animator.
The
animator.
Yeah.
Because the enema of my enema is my friend.
Yeah.
I keep my enemas close.
Yeah.
I keep my emanator even closer.
Keep your friends close. Keep your enemas closer with the new triple gauge animator. No, okay. So really, you're not giving us any of the information that we actually want, which is why. What did you do? What does a person that goes and gets a colonic? What are they experiencing that makes them want to go get one?
I have
Itchiness?
a parasite.
You have a parasite?
Yeah, I'm trying to get rid of all of the graboids in my intestinal tract.
What the fuck?
For you millennials, those are the monsters from Tremors.
Yes. No, I've got a parasite.
You got a sandworm in your butt?
I have a sandworm in my butt. No, in my intestinal tract. Yeah.
What is it? A tapeworm?
It could be. I don't know. I'm not necessarily sure. But I've been taking like massive amounts of. I haven't been very well for the last couple of months.
You have been since the age of 30, like obsessed with cleaning your butthole.
Yes.
To the point where you've scalded it in the past, and we've go back through the archives.
We've covered this several times.
Meanwhile, I could be said certainly that Superman's Lex Luthor. Like I am not from that planet.
Right.
If anything, I push the limits of what you should do when. Like
but you gave yourself an accidental.
Some cavemen, if transported through time, observing me for a week, would go, dude. It's a butt. You gotta wipe it more than that. You're gonna go back out and collaborate with your friends?
But you gave yourself an accidental colonic in your bathtub back in the day.
Yes, I did. I will never forget it. Yeah.
Accidental? How accidental?
Because I had jets in my tub that I was excited to use. I bought a new house. There were jets.
So your ass was up against the side of the tub?
Yeah, because
yeah, but explain that. What is it?
No, I did. I explained it on the podcast. I mean,
He would jerk off, but he would get his butt up against the jet, and
it wasn't an accident.
No, it wasn't.
But put his ass up against the jet, and then he was surprised that it was weird.
No, I was surprised when water went up my asshole and filled me up like a water balloon. Because before that, all it did was tickle the rim and make me happier. But then one day I flew too close to the sun, as Jeff said, and I was like, I was scissoring and you get used to shit. This is why I'm afraid to fly, because the guys in the cockpit, it's like, how soon before you start to take technology for granted? These guys are like, how do you know the guy in the cockpit?
You don't know what they're doing in the cockpit. The door's closed.
They could be treating it like a DVR. They're just like, scoop it.
Yeah.
I don't know. It usually does this. And I was like, so I had gotten accustomed to a little jet on my little poo-poo.
You ain't hurting no one.
No, it's like...
Ain't nobody's business but your own.
There's a little stimulation down there where there's some extra nerve endings.
Also, you were super excited back then because you were taking baths daily.
Yeah.
And
that's why.
You were shining like the Chrysler Building.
Yes. This is... A lot of diehard fans are like, why am I being punished for being a fan? I know all this. It's like we need a little Stan Lee in the corner to just have it be on the video feed with him coming up and going webheads will remember that, Dan got a tub and was fucking jerking off like a crazy person, and had discovered jets on his butthole. And then one day I went too far and the setting was too high, and it just it's that difference, when you take a water balloon and you can, if you hold it underneath the faucet and just turn on the faucet, no water's gonna go in that water balloon. And then there's that day when at that moment, I just all of a sudden, and it's like a binary thing, it's either happening or not. And like it was just like all of a sudden I was like, oh yeah, what? Like it was like there's probably people in the audience who are more you know, they take their butt for more of a ride, you know, like they're more experts in this kind of off-roading thing. They're like, yeah, I know exactly what happened. Your V8 got in the front-wheel drive, and like that happened to me in Kentucky on a four-wheeler. And I was like, I was a newcomer to the whole involving the button anything other than just the
or a Sharpie.
And so all of a sudden I had the sensation that I've never had before, which was in reverse the sensation of pooping. It was like all of a sudden there was just like so much like just filling me up in a place where I was like, what? And I like got up out of the tub and like went over to the toilet instinctively and sat down on it, and I was like, and then like just like flood came out, and I was like, oh, I just gave myself an accidental enema.
And how did you feel?
It's pretty good.
Pretty good.
It was good. Has the show really become this easy?
Fuck it. Where are our standards anyway?
It's Emmy night, folks. All the craftsmen are at parties. And crafts ladies.
Crafts ladies.
Except for, I guess, UCP not doing so good. Okay. Universal Cable Productions, the producers of Harmon Quest. Amy Carlson, you may have heard me mention her name. She works there. Our saviors.
Is that Amy back there? Amy, are you
no.
Oh.
She said, I'm just an intern.
Okay.
But now we should edit that out because maybe she'll get in trouble. Who knows? But she was here saying, stop it, stop. Wait, what am I doing? I just undid like.
We didn't say anything.
Okay.
You said so much. You said so many things just now.
Rob, when do you leave us for a Lego movie?
January.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're gonna be gone for a while?
2 years.
No.
Where are you guys shooting now?
Shooting. It's in Vancouver. Canada.
Yeah.
It's only 2 hours away. You'll come visit, right?
What's up with those delays we read about in the trades? What did you do wrong?
I don't know what you're talking about, and I can't say anything.
It was in the papers.
Anyway.
It said Lego movie fucking delayed. Fucking
director on colonic binge.
I'm taking a year off for massive colonics.
A tune-up, like Chevy.
Just a tune-up. Yeah, just a tune-up.
I mean, look, if he's in rehab, but in the article I read, it just said Chevy was going in for alcohol-related problems.
Right.
Alcoholism.
Yeah. He did, however, somebody pointed out, he did leave a very, very concise. I think Chevy, you know, like he's the last person to. If you listed his crimes or bad qualities, definitely not on that list would be like shame. Like he's not like he loves as long as it's funny. Like he'll share stuff and I don't think it was his idea to like downplay it or Orwellian double speak the idea of going into rehab because he left a. It was on his what's that dumb thing that's like to Twitter for celebrities who say. Like it's like, oh, you're famous. Why should you do what normal people do? Like that selfie you took might be worth money one day. Don't give that away. Isn't that what that thing is? I don't know. Did I just get sardonic about something for no reason? All I know is it was like a little paragraph, and he said, "I'm going in because my love of vodka needs to be something." I'm paraphrasing, but it was all very clear. He's like, I'm going in because my family's. I don't want them to have to worry about me and like all that stuff. I don't know how that tune-up stuff. That's probably some spokesman who, trying to do their job the right way, trying to protect and all this stuff and mitigate. Like, and then that becomes the funny thing. It's like, get this, he's going in for a tune-up. Anyway,
is Sardonic going to be in Doctor Strange?
So
He's awesome. Him and Black Manta. If Sardonic and Black Manta were in the Doctor Strange movie, I would fucking be so happy. What would that be like if Sardonic and Black Manta were like in the Doctor Strange movie? What would that be like?
why are you sitting over there? Why did you go? Are you like the new Spencer? Is that they?
No, I'm the old Rob.
Don't. Like, that's what you're doing. Like, I'm telling
don't do that. That was. Don't feel bad. No, it isn't bad, sir. It's very good.
Oh God. Oh, okay. All right.
I like it over here.
I don't. Okay. Here. I don't like.
Don't fight me.
You're
so sweaty. You're all moist. Why are you that moist? You're sitting down.
Because every day is sixth grade for me. That's why. Yeah. Finally. Now can I sup at that trough? I don't like that the flight attendant welcomes you to the city that you're arriving in with them. It just seems... It's just a little bit of a needless mindfucky, like, bullying thing. Yeah, I'll call it what it is. Bullying.
Why is it
when the flight attendant goes, welcome to Chicago. And it's like, you just got here too, motherfucker.
Why is that bullying, though? Why is that bullying?
Because the unspoken part of that is, you newbie. You piece of shit that if the plane crashed would fall for the float cushion thing while I sprung out on a Inspector Gadget parachute.
You might be reading into that a little. Might be reading into that. I think they're just trying to be nice to you.
Welcome to Chicago, they say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
also don't like. I guess there's no direct flights from Los Angeles to Milwaukee, but I was like, it's a real drag.
No.
Like you can't.
For real?
Yeah.
No.
Wow.
But I guess that's. I was thinking about it. It's like, well, okay, so we're flying from LA to Phoenix and then from Phoenix to Milwaukee, and that might be better, I guess, because like, well, if you're flying from Los Angeles to Milwaukee, like, statistically speaking, like the reason for that is that something's gone wrong.
Yeah. Southwest, yeah. I think Southwest goes direct, is the only direct flight to Milwaukee, but they suck.
Are they the ones that do the comedy?
Yes, they do like the fucking Muppet voices and Donald Duck shit. It's just a piece of shit. It's like a bus with wings. They just like go, hey, get on board. I hope you get a seat. And somebody's sitting on the floor. So there's two people with chickens next to you. It's the worst.
I got on a plane a few days ago. Where was I coming back from? I forget. And I walked up to the gate right at boarding time. I didn't know if I was late or early or whatever. And I said, are you boarding? She said, yeah, priority. Are you priority? I'm like, yeah, I'm first class. I got on. I was the first person on the plane. I didn't know. That was not intentional. I thought maybe I was a couple minutes late. I found a $20 bill on the jet bridge, like on the little walkway. And I just went, doink, and if I can put that in the old pocket.
Okay, all right.
And I get on the plane, and then there's two flight attendants there, and they're like, oh, are we boarding already? I didn't realize we were boarding. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, we're right this way. Like, where's your seat? I'm like, I'm in 2A. And I sat down, and like, I was the very first person on, so it wasn't like somebody was on that plane and dropped that money. Maybe it was one of the flight attendants. I don't know. So I'm sitting there, and I got the $20 in my pocket, and we get in the air, and the flight attendant comes down through all the people in first class. Hey, did somebody drop $20? Meaning, like, I was like, no. I did not drop $20. I did the opposite of dropping $20.
Well, I did.
But I was like, that meant it was hers, right? That she was trying to lay a little trap there. Like, oh, no, I found $20, and she would go, mine.
What?
I don't know. But like, did somebody else drop $20 too? It was very confusing. For me.
She's like, I lost $20. Well, I know if I ask if anyone found it, the answer will be no. But maybe if I say, has anyone lost $20?
Somebody would go, oh, I feel so guilty.
It's
about
like how
this.
when you're getting mugged, you're supposed to yell fire instead.
But then
of
I went and bought my girlfriend cigarettes with it,
$20 cigarettes?
I got her a couple packs.
How long are they?
They're the extra longs. But then we walked out and she goes, you know that was counterfeit. I'm like, what? She's like, it was printed all wrong. The borders were all fucked up. It's like, I think I picked up and stole and then used counterfeit $20.
I think some major awesome criminal was taking that plane and was dropping counterfeit 20s like a bullet hole in his duffel bag or hers. Was hemorrhaging counterfeit 20s or something.
Yeah.
And that so that it was that you found one and then someone else found another one. It was like, is someone dropping 20s all over the place? And there's a guy bleeding out in Coach. Just another martini. No, haven't seen any errant 20s.
Well, because he got shot.
I don't know. I'm not gonna make up the whole
to live and die in
story.
LA kind of thing.
Yeah, to live and die in LA. Yeah, fine. I'm derivative. All right. But the
wow. So defensive.
Yeah. You're not
I just came back from Milwaukee. I have a lot of I got along with my mom for 2 days, so now I'm back here and I'm like, what'd you mean by that? What'd you mean by that? What'd you mean by that? it had to go somewhere.
It is an amazing city because I met the nicest people and people that were there to see my show, but also are fans of Harmontown or Rick and Morty, whatever. There is this awesome openness and sweetness to the Midwest and to Milwaukee in particular, but also a lot of weird, not shame or self-effacing, right?
Yes.
Yes. They diminish themselves in your eyes.
But yes, because the people who draw focus get kicked out of Milwaukee, like me and SCHRAB. No, it's very similar. I mean, it's geographically and I think genetically and culturally, psychologically and spiritually a very close cousin to Canada. I mean, it's you're right up there. You're a hop, skip, and a jump. You're in a very cold. You're in a climate that's inhospitable. You're in God's crosshairs.
What blows me away is
if you get cocky, then the question becomes, why are you so cocky? Why don't you go somewhere warm? So the answer has to be, don't get cocky. Don't get cocky.
Right.
That has to be the mantra of a more seasonal climate. And Milwaukee's so on the surface of it, there's this wonderful humility and camaraderie, fraternity, or sorority.
You are fucking nailing it tonight.
I'm fucking I'm inclusiving the fuck out of tonight. Tomorrow's headlines are going to be Dan Harmon included everybody.
After the fact.
Yeah. Well, asterisks were flying and all benefited. Women were receiving their alms on the tails of sentences with appendaged addenda. Caps were doffed to the fairer sex at a speed comparable only to the bionic advocate. A lesser-known franchise from the 70s.
The bionic advocate.
Gentlemen, we can rebuild him with an understanding that women are human. Take that, corrupt lumberjack. You could have been a woman.
Or lumberjill.
Okay. All right. He plussed it. Wait, no, what is that? Okay. Well, yeah, if you're there for, I mean, it's the surface of that Milwaukee thing. It's really beautiful because
I understand it's a great city.
It's
by a great lake.
It's a great place by a great lake.
That's so dumb. It's a great place by a great lake.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, what do you want?
All right. I wanted a better motto.
We can't just say we make the beer. Because we largely don't anymore.
They don't make the beer.
Yeah. Anyways, underneath it, because it comes from, I think, self-loathing. So it's there's benefits to, there's a cushion on top of you when you arrange yourself around a religion of humility. You're who am I to say? Who am I? That's a very Midwestern thing. What do I know? And all this stuff. But that doesn't automatically make you a good person. And it doesn't automatically mean a conversation with you, like everyone walks away not having their soul stolen. Because when that's your religion, it's like also like, well, then it's, you have to kind of question everything. You have to question all ambition. You have to question, it's like, and there's no such thing as a typical anything. So don't get offended if you're listening in Milwaukee and going, this isn't me. You don't understand anything. I'm just talking about a artificial construct, a median. But that's my kind of feeling about that compass is like, oh yeah, on one hand, like I'm so grateful I grew up somewhere where it's a crime to think that you're all that. Like it's just a straight up fucking social crime that especially back then was like way higher than when we were still just when the definition of feminism was still believing women can do better. It was like we first and foremost were like, don't get cocky. Like
your friend, your old friend, and now my new-ish friend, Dave Friedel, his toes are falling off. Like he's got no toes on one of his feet.
We call him Friedel, and now he has several free toes.
And his 9/11.
All right.
Don't cheer that. A lot of people died.
But he
a lot of people died in that day. Don't cheer it. Please don't cheer it.
But Friedel,
it's offensive.
Friedel handles that with such like
I don't get why people were cheering. They were like, ooh, woo, woo, yeah.
Our audience, Rob, I don't know if you know this, is mostly Al Qaeda. we got a couple ISISes, but it's mostly old school, just straight up Taliban.
That's why I have Al Qaeda like parasites. That's why I was doing the. I think that was Candida, though.
The fuck are you talking about? Candida?
What?
Do you think there's places in like little cloisters where like sleeper cells or caves or whatever we're supposed to, wherever the people that are like the Addams family, in our mythology, that like does you think 9/11's like Cinco de Mayo? Like they kind of like it's more like there's kind of like a little like there's a. Do you think there's a color scheme?
I think it's just our audience. The cheers for 9/11
and thousands of people in New Jersey, thousands. I saw it. And Barack Obama was born in the United States. Period. Can we please get back to what we were talking about? Can you believe that fucking guy?
He's the best.
I'm sorry. Are we annoying you with our birther shit? What is he? He's out of his mind. He's gonna become my hero. He is fucking like just doing donuts. It's just like there's only there's a certain point where he becomes a Duke of Hazzard. It's like you go from like, oh, you're a lying piece of shit, and then all of a sudden you just go, wait, you're
of Hazard. I'd like to see that prequel.
Ladies and gentlemen, the
Duke of Hazard. Ladies and gentlemen, I am the Duke of Hazard. Here's Sergeant Lee, my car.
Sergeant? Oh, he was back before he was a general.
Before he was a general.
I didn't know that General Lee was originally an enlisted car.
Yes.
He rose the ranks
Holy
all
shit,
the way.
did you see that giant cockroach?
Giant cockroach, yeah.
Fucking crawling on the wall. Anybody see that in the front? That, if I could see it from here, I'm further back than you.
Am I in danger? Was it by me? What happened?
No, it was crawling on the red wall. It's over by... It's over by Steve Levy's head.
It's probably an important time to announce that the Meltdown is opening a restaurant called the Patty Meltdown.
That was a big fucking cockroach.
The Patty Meltdown.
That was a big cockroach.
That was a big enough cockroach that might have been a bat.
Yeah.
Like, we're not sure. That was like a shadow.
It was bigger than my thumb, I'll tell you that.
I don't like bugs. I don't like them. I had a spider go into my ear one time and I almost lost my fucking mind.
You told the story on the podcast before you. Okay, but in the control room, you don't have to worry. It went up and diagonal, so it's above your heads.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
It might just descend on you at a moment's notice.
It would have to be. It would have to be a tremendously heavy, unwieldy cockroach to fall on you. Its body would have to have so much mass that its legs designed to anchor itself in the ceiling would be unable to do so. And that's a roach that would just be off the grid, a rogue roach.
If there's one of them, there's like 1,000 more in the wall.
But none with nothing to lose like that one.
You guys are about to get creep show.
Also, that cockroach is, I think, like 1 day away from retirement.
All right. Having hunted itself to near extinction, like having boxed out all the other roaches by beating them to the dried droplets of milk under every refrigerator, and now it's just like I have nowhere to go. I'm like the hustler. There's no Minnesota Fats out here for me, and it's just like now it's just climbing walls like a spider. Just kind of like, what do I do? Eat a bird now? Do I discover fire? I think I've got like 6 hours left in my lifespan. I'm bursting with babies.
I should probably just fall into Steve Levy's hair backstage.
Or write that book. Gotta write that book.
Write
that book.
Oh, you know what? If I could give the cockroach any advice, write the book.
Yeah. Write the book.
Write the book.
You don't have all the time in the world.
You think you've got more time than you do.
You do not.
I'll go further than that. Work with a collaborator because you're busy. You're a busy cockroach.
Yeah.
You're running Rick and Morty. You're trying.
You're not a cockroach.
It's not a ghostwriter. It's not the same thing. It's a person that's there to help keep you on target and move you along.
How's your book coming along, Dan?
Very well.
What's your book? I don't know what you're talking about. What are you talking about? I care.
No. It's a book.
Will you tell me later?
What's it about?
I don't know, man. I'm making it up as I go. It's just a book. I'm like, one time I fucking took a shit in a tree, and then I'm like, here's 10 funny ways to make a pound cake. I don't know. It's like print is dead. You just make shit up.
You took a shit in a tree?
Yeah. No, or did I? Maybe I'm just trying to move books. I don't know. I don't even know who I am anymore. I've become more brand than human.
What's the title of the book? What is the title of the book, Dan?
You do that last.
It's called the pooping tree.
I'll put it on
You
the
do
short
that
list.
last?
You come up with the title last.
Who does?
The royal you. The person writing the book. You write the book, and then you go, now what should this be called?
That's how it happens?
Yeah, in my opinion, if you're doing it right, yeah.
Okay.
Wait. Okay. Well, because here's an example of why to do it that way.
Okay.
Like, the alternative would be, okay, I'm gonna write a book, and it's gonna be called "The Boy Who Fought a Shark."
Okay. All right.
So then you start writing.
Okay.
Once upon a time, there was a boy. Oh, and then he went to the beach.
Oh,
and then he fought a shark. Okay.
What? Wait. Wow.
Right. Page 1. He fights the shark on page 1.
Fights the shark. He went to the
so
beach
now
and
you're
fought
like,
a shark.
I'm fucked.
Oh yeah.
And then you're like, here's the thing about fighting a shark. It's really hard. And then you're like, God damn it. God damn it. And then you're like, just the title fucked you. Just write. And then come up with a name later.
Right.
I shouldn't have to tell you guys
You
this.
shouldn't. You shouldn't tell me it. If the book was done now, what would it be called?
2 paragraphs about my grade school principal.
You're only 2 paragraphs.
And other stories. And other ways to date in this modern world. No, I don't know. It would be called... no, I'm not going to... There is a conceit to it. I'm not going to tell you. Because that's... when did the show become you guys violating my NDAs? All right.
That's always been our show.
Yeah. My favorite scene in the Steve Jobs movie is the one. Thank you. It's the one where he's like where he's on his deathbed. It's a very tender scene, and he goes like, wait, one more thing.
Spoilers.
You should be able to hold the send button down halfway, and then and if you push it too hard, you have to start over. And then, but if you swipe up, you can send confetti. And they're like, holy shit, right up to the bitter end, that guy with the fucking ideas.
You just told us the ending.
Balloons, confetti, but then if you swipe right, balloons. Apple's lost its grip a little bit. But but I'm still buying the thing.
Did you get the new phone?
It's coming, but have you installed the new software?
Yes.
Huh?
Do you have the new software?
I don't think so.
Can you see balloons and confetti when I send them to you?
No.
Yeah, you gotta get that. You gotta get that upgrade, baby.
How's your iWatch? Your Apple Watch?
At the office.
Yeah. That didn't stick.
It seemed really cool. That Apple Watch seemed really cool.
Speaking of
seemed so cool. It was cool. Like it was like a little phone on your wrist, but it was connected to your phone, right? Is that how it was?
Yes.
Apple Watch seemed kind of cool. Seemed kind of cool.
Yeah. Well, I got into a rhythm of every time I believe these people, my life improves.
These people.
Then, that changes. These people, yes, it's the Apple people.
The Apple people. We are the Apple people. Dan Harmon, we're coming to your house. We're the Apple people. We have this new watch we want to show you. It seems kind of cool. How would you like to wear it for maybe 9 episodes?
How did you get in here?
Oh, Ed 209, I'm sorry. I just wanted to talk to Dan Harmon for a second.
Apple people.
Apple people, yes.
You are in violation of the United States Ordinance.
Oh, shit.
3524.
Oh, shit. I dropped the gun. I dropped the gun. I'm dropping it. Jesus. No.
You have 9 seconds to comply.
Just let me go. I have a wife and children.
7.
Please.
6.
Please, don't.
5.
This is somebody.
4.
Help me.
3.
Ronnie Cox, help me.
2.
Oh, my God.
1.
Oh, all right. Go ahead.
Oh.
What? Oh. Called you bluff.
I forgot my gun. I'm only a prototype Ed 209 on trespassing duty. I'm just supposed to roar at people and give them 10 seconds to comply.
It's okay. I overstepped my bounds as an Apple person.
It's not you. The system is flawed. There's a direct implication that force will be involved, and yet I can't back it up.
Don't go there. You're not flawed. The system's not flawed. I'm just as much to blame as you. Don't beat yourself up. Ed, come on. Sit on the couch with me for a second.
I can't sit. Or climb stairs. And I was in the break room yesterday, and I heard the only reason I'm being manufactured is because of interference with a much more progressive anthropomorphized RoboCop project.
Now, don't talk like that, Edward, please. That's not. You know something?
I'm a piece of shit.
No, you're not.
Cautionary tale.
No, you're not. Look in the mirror right now. Look in the mirror. Look at that. You know, when I look at your mirror, look at that. Look at you. All you need is to comb your hair just a little bit. Look at that. Let's comb your hair, and maybe let's flip this collar up. Look at that. Hey. Holy cow. Who's this handsome guy? Look at this guy. Just if you. Yeah.
You are objectifying me.
No.
Using intimacy to make me feel better.
No.
But sending a larger message that our bodies are what define us. You have 10 seconds to apologize.
Ed, I know you don't have a gun, so this is all bullshit. I tried to help you.
I will hashtag this, and people will find out.
All right, you know, I thought you were a good person, but you're
called Twitter.
Yep. Okay. All right. Hey, have a nice life, fuckface.
What? Let's see.
No, you see, you're a piece of shit. And I didn't want to say this before, but you're a fat ass fucking piece of fuck shit. You know? You don't have a gun. You look like shit. You flipped your collar over. You looked worse. You suck. Every dick in this building, and I know because
keep talking.
I talked to the person at the front counter. We all know.
Yeah.
You suck.
Okay.
So, I tried to be nice to you. This is why no one likes you, because you're a fucking piece of shit.
By the way, say hello to Periscope.
Okay, great.
Because you're being periscoped.
Okay. Oh no. Oh
And
no.
Facebook.
Oh no. Oh no.
Yeah, you
oh no.
You
okay.
slut-shamed me.
Yes. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Okay.
Yeah. Oh no.
All right.
Your reign is
okay.
over.
Great. Goodbye.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
So.
Goodbye. I'm closing the door.
Dear Facebook. Is that how they start? About 10 seconds ago, I had a conversation with a colleague.
We're not colleagues. We're not colleagues. I just came to the door looking for Dan Harmon. We're not colleagues.
At this moment, I'm afraid for my safety. I have no guns. I was built for enforcement, and I walk like a chicken. It's how I was made, and until recently, I thought that was fine. To make a note about figuring out that reaction, but felt like if there were lines crossed, they were crossed before that, but maybe I was being too nuanced, or... Anyways, the video speaks for itself. This is what I have to deal with, and now I don't know what I'm going to do. I also have no hands. Hello?
Hello, Ed. This is your mother.
Mom, you're on speaker. I don't have fingers. So I just tapped the phone.
Your father and I want to know if you're coming over this weekend.
Mom, I'm going through some shit.
Why are you going? What are you talking about? Just let us know if you're... It's a simple question. All you have to do is say, are you coming over?
It's never a simple question with you. I need support right now, and I'm not...
Well, then come over. I just need to know if I have to defrost a potato salad, and I have to start on Thursday because it's like a block of ice over here. So are you coming or not? If you're not coming, it's fine. You don't. There's only so many years left with your father. But if you don't want to come over, it's fine.
Mom.
Yes.
You don't recognize that as blackmail? You don't recognize what you just did as emotional blackmail?
I do.
You have 10 seconds to acknowledge
everything.
You are a toxic person.
Everything is 10 seconds with you. Everything is 10 seconds with you when all I want is 24 hours on the weekend.
Yeah, and during that 24 hours, what are you going to say? Why don't you have a boyfriend?
Well,
and the answer is complicated.
Yes. Well, I mean, it just seems, you're the top military item of the next year, and it just seems you should have a boyfriend at least, something, know.
I don't expect you to understand when you talk like that you're hurting me. I don't know how to explain it.
I'm so terrible. I'm so terrible.
I didn't say that, but if you have...
so terrible. William, will you hear this? Will you hear this? What your son is saying to me right now? William, will you get on?
Ask him if he's coming over. Ask him if he's coming over.
I already did, William, and he said he's going through some SHIT right now, and I just all I wanted to know is to get a little bit of fair warning.
Tell him I ironically said he has 10 seconds to fucking grow a pair.
Yes. Edward, would you please answer your father?
Yes, I'll come for Thanksgiving.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right, now I'm going to go mow the lawn.
Okay.
William, what's the matter? William!
What's going on over there?
Oh, honey, no.
William.
No.
William, no.
What's happening? Is Dad okay?
William. William.
Oh, honey. Oh,
How do you give
tell
feet?
Edward goodbye. Tell him he doesn't have to come.
Edward.
No, I'm on my way.
No, it's too.
Unprecedented.
Unprecedented hydraulic feature activated. Your power resources are being tapped too much by your ambition.
I don't care.
Need I remind you, you're running to people that have treated you like shit.
It doesn't matter. Super turbo leap.
You'll have to connect in Phoenix. You won't be able to take a direct leap there.
Fuck.
Welcome to Phoenix.
You just got here too. You're inside me.
I'm just being nice.
I'm gonna fucking kill myself.
Hi, I need a...
I need a flight to Phoenix.
Yes, just, you're in boarding group 1. Just remember that.
Okay, that should be really easy.
3 hours later. Hello, at this point in time, we'd like to have a premier group, Global Access, Golden Star Members Alliance, and the uniformed members and the security.
What the fuck? What? What did she say?
I don't know. I'm just waking up myself. Ed 209.
You please don't tell anyone you saw me here.
Yes. No, you don't even know who I am.
Oh, I thought you were a fan.
I'm the Apple person that you kicked out.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Gerald.
Yes.
You're the.
I was the person that tried to give you some self-esteem by combing your hair and popping your collar. And you were such a dick. Excuse me. Boom.
What? He just teleported.
I'm on the wing now because I don't like you.
The wing of.
The plane?
Okay.
Yeah.
You really played fucking Hellfire with my space work, man. I'm now burdened with, like, yes-anding you, but you didn't listen to me. I was in a terminal. I had not boarded yet. Also, how is this character going to have an arc? He was just a dick to me. It's not 20 years later.
Hey!
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be this way.
Flight attendant, there's a white male on the wing of the plane, experiencing privileged turbulence. I think he might bring the whole plane down in a desperate quest to maintain his comfort.
Sir, we're going to have to ask you to take a seat. We're going to have to ask you to board and take a seat.
How do you know I'm a sir?
You're Ed 209.
I can't sit. And Ed is ED. It's an acronym. The polite thing would be to ask me that shit.
I'm sorry. I should have asked for your pronoun. How do you present yourself?
By not sitting.
Yo, man, come on. Just sit so we can take off.
I explained to the ticket person, I don't sit. I'm an
We're going to have to ask you
urban pacification.
Why is he not sitting?
We're going to have to ask you to take a seat, sir.
Just sit down. Sit down so we can get on with our lives. Why can't you sit for 1 second?
Hydraulic systems overloaded.
I know I have to sit. assimilation. I don't.
We're now landing in Phoenix. Welcome. Or wait, not Phoenix. Detroit. Where were we going?
Milwaukee. I don't know.
Okay, great. We're here. Limping, in pain, sacrificed all my happiness, identity, and comfort. I must get to my parents' house. My father needs medical assistance. I'll have to take an Uber. At least their job is just to pick me up and transport me to a place. How could that ever involve stripping me of my humanity?
Hello, bro. You got to put in your destination.
The address is in the. I put it.
I don't have a destination.
The app is designed to have the address put in it.
So you're gonna have to.
I always use it. The whole idea of this app is to not have to talk to people.
You want a water? You want some candy? I got some candies
I
up
don't
there.
need candy or water. It's very nice. That makes you very different from a cab. Why is your cat?
Because Dr. Mittens comes with me wherever I go. He's a good luck charm for me.
My father is sick and I need you to take me
that's
to
terrible. You have to put the destination in.
Okay, just take a left up here.
Okay,
take a left.
but this is a one-way street. I have to go right there.
Okay, that's not true.
Hey, Dr. Mittens. Can I pull over? Because Dr. Mittens has to go pee-pee time.
Fuck.
Hey, here you go. Dr. Mittens, go run out and go pee. Go pee. He's an outside cat, but he likes to ride with me.
Zip.
He wears little.
Why does your cat wear pants?
He wears little kitty pants because it's for mostly to keep his hair off the seat so that you're not uncomfortable.
It never occurred to you that if hair being on the seat is a bad thing, that the cat should stay at home.
Look, if you have so many problems, you should take lifts. You shouldn't.
Okay, can we go?
Okay, no. I'm charging you already because we've been going for a minute now.
I know. We'll just go. Take me to the address.
Okay, I'm going. Would you like music? What do you want?
No, nothing.
I got my own music. I have a little band.
Fine. I don't care.
It's a mariachi band that me and my friends have together.
I don't care.
I'm super Mexican, so I.
Can you please keep your eyes on the road?
Look, bro. You're being very aggressive right now. You have 10 seconds to calm the fuck down.
Okay.
Okay, we'll just go in silence and you just be quiet. I'll be quiet. I'll do my thing.
Yeah. What the Wake up!
Oh, God damn it.
Jesus Christ.
I fell asleep. Oh, Professor Mittens, no. Dr. Mittens. Dr. Mittens. Oh, no.
I'm getting out of the car.
Not like this. Oh, God damn it.
I'm taking your cat because you can't take care of it, and if it's a doctor, it might be able to help my dad. Dad, it's me, Monica.
We just had a roller coaster installed in the backyard. Glad you could finally make it, Edward Monica. Your father's on his deathbed. He's got 3 breaths left. I'm glad you could finally take off time from your busy schedule.
Get out of my way!
Ow! Ow, my leg!
Dad! Dad!
You have 3 breaths to love me.
Dad, I can save you. They can save everyone.
That's one breath.
Oxygen resources depleting.
I don't care. Final Ed 209 breath tank inflating father. Hydraulic reserves channeled into father saving.
Life force at 20%. 10%. 5.
Welcome to life. Even though I was already here. Get it?
It's a roller coaster.
Well, my character's dead. You get.
Megan, what happened? Where's my boy? My girl, Monica.
Edward Monica just gave her life to save yours.
No,
Bobby.
But I wanted to die.
I know.
Our marriage has been loveless for so many years.
I know. And you're racist.
I know.
You're a terrible person.
I hate it. I'm a straight up Trumpy, and I just he's not gonna win.
I know. This
Why did
awful
he
person.
He didn't have to. She didn't have to do that.
I know.
Also, did we ever figure out the pronoun? It was just so much effort.
Yeah.
Well,
this is a disaster.
So I feel great. I feel good. Feel pretty good.
I know. The potato salad is thought out. But there's only enough for you and me.
I don't want to live anymore. But now I'm so full of life force. There's a portal on Monica 209 shaped just like my hand.
What?
I'm gonna put my hand in that hand-shaped portal.
Genetic cybernetic amalgamation program initiating. RoboCop program developing. Embryonic phase initiated.
Come quietly, or there will be trouble. Oh, who am I? I have hands and Peter Weller's mouth.
Murphy?
I will call myself Murphy.
It's you. Murphy.
Mom.
Do you want to go on the roller coaster?
I do.
But it'll come at a price, son, daughter. I'll have to die again. And just let me go this time. Just let it happen.
Dad, dead or alive, you're coming with me.
Do you believe in RoboCop metaphors for cultural complexities?
We fucking nailed it.
God damn it. I wish it was 10 o'clock so we could have ended on that. It was fucking good.
You could probably cut out the whole Apple Watch people coming back.
Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah, it didn't really help. I thought it would be a good, just kind of.
I think it developed his character or her character of going like the road of trials, like enemies and allies, like.
I just wasn't listening to his space work, so it's fucked up everything. So yeah, well,
I think if I learned anything from that story, it's that you have to go with the way you feel and not the way some external force, even inside of you, might say things should be changed and edited. Like you should go with your original feeling. So if you really wanted that guy to have a little comeback there, fine.
Yeah.
Because we really atoned through that character.
Yeah, it's like no matter what your programming is, you still have to define yourself, even if no matter how you're wired.
Yes, because to just follow your.
He learned to sit.
Well, yeah. I mean,
at a huge cost.
But that was not a good thing.
No.
In my opinion.
No.
I think you should be able to interpret true art, which I believe that was. You should be allowed to interpret it however you want. I think actually there was a transphobic message there as well as hopefully a more uplifting one. I felt it was a Christ myth about somebody who was being crucified, but you, Archie Bunker, might go like, yeah, geez, they just need to learn to sit. But that starts a conversation, with your parents and with your neighbors. I'm genius.
Were his parents robots too, or were they
I don't know. I think they were Peter Weller and Nancy Allen, I guess. The whole time. Yeah. I mean, obviously, we diverted from the canon of the original.
Right. But it came almost like it became almost like an origin story for Murphy. Like we gave birth to.
Yeah. There were some Looper elements in there because it seemed like Ed was lamenting the RoboCop program in the break room, but then ended up being the birth of it.
Yeah.
Look, I don't want to. Let's not ruin it. No. Like, remember the first Matrix movie? We got in and got out, and we didn't find out till 2 movies later it was all a piece of shit. Like, we didn't even think to take a second look. It was like, that was amazing. I haven't seen wire work in an American film in a long time. And maybe we are all batteries. That makes sense. Don't think about it. Of course, that's a perfectly legitimate source of voltage.
I think Ed's conversation with his mom was very touching. I like that.
I like the whole thing.
Yeah.
We're ruining it. We can't be afraid to just move on and come up with an even better closer. Is there some product we have to advertise?
Do we?
Oh, okay. We're gonna do
what?
We're gonna do MeUndies in the studio because
what's MeUndies?
Oh, I'm glad you asked.
I mean, no. Well, you're not familiar with the softest, most comfortable underwear on the planet Earth? They're made out of modal fabric, which, and if you don't like them, you get to poop in them. Send them back for free. They send you another pair.
Like I heard Georgia Hardstark, she did the MeUndies ad on Making a Murderer, or not Making a Murderer, My Favorite Murder, and she pronounced it Modal or something like that.
Modal.
It was fancier.
Yeah, I don't know how you say it. I just know that it's an underwear company that we're apparently shilling for, and you should try them out.
I think that's very negative language. I'm wearing them right now.
Are you really?
They're genuinely softer than cotton.
Are they caressing your genitals in a romantic fashion?
Yeah, but it's not. It doesn't have to be a sexual thing. It's.
I don't believe you. I want proof.
Well, I may not be wearing them, so I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna throw my. I'm letting Nigel eat the cotton underwear slowly, like he.
Who's Nigel?
Nigel is Dan's manservant. When Dan gets rid of his old underwear, Nigel will.
Eat it?
He'll eat the old underwear.
I got a Vive. I hooked up a Vive in my. Is anybody in the audience rich enough to have a 6-foot room to just spare?
But I'm a game designer, kind of.
Game designer? Have you done stuff for in VR?
That's why I got into game design.
Pornography?
It's
Any pornography?
Duncan Trussell, I was just talking to him because he's really into VR. He sent me this odd link that I'm not experienced enough with VR yet to understand the context of this. I've only been doing like the demos. I did almost immediately, I brought up Pornhub Premium, like just within virtual space. I just wanted to know, like,
What's it like?
Would it be different if you were just if the website on which you watch porn, like if it was like all of a sudden like it's just in front of you? And the answer is, well, yeah, it's like having porn blown up in front of you. But they're obviously making VR porn. I just haven't like gotten into it yet. Although the dress form in Tilt Brush already made me a little. There's like different backgrounds.
Back up.
I have no idea what any of the last minute and a half has been about.
I got turned on by a virtual mannequin. Mannequins are already virtual. And I'm like, and I was like, there's this amazing. Google made this app called Tilt Brush. Like, if you ever get into one of these things and you only have a certain amount of time, I think the most impressive thing to do first is go to Tilt Brush, because it's like. The most impressive thing is like it's this like the tracking. That's what it is. It's like that's why in the 90s we were talking about VR incessantly, like honeycomb commercials and things were like VR's here, and it wasn't. But I think it's the tracking technology, because you're holding these things now and they're just tracking perfectly. And you so everything that you're doing in there, like I was on Mars, that was assembled out of Mars rover pictures, and like the locomotion thing is always going to be an issue now, because it's like you got your rich people who can afford to have one of these systems where you have external trackers, where you're like, okay, it's like the equivalent of a swimming pool basically, because you're like, who has the real estate to like give over a bedroom to this system where you have to have total floor space. And then the odd thing is, well, it's so impressive that you can kind of like do this casual kind of like walk around, but you can't like go bounding off into the woods. You immediately you have to like, so everything is based on like kind of teleportation right now. You have to like just teleport to places, and then you can walk around 6 feet in that area. But it's just unbelievable. There's no question, once you're in it, you're like, okay, that's it, world's over. Like in terms of like storytelling, like I don't even know how we're gonna do our job anymore, because I do know. It's time to retire, because like it's gonna be a whole different skill set that I think AI is even going to be better at, because your job as a writer in a post VR world is going to have so much more to do with volume and like kind of almost procedurally generated, like just volumes of eavesdroppable material, because I think your job is going to be to create the illusion of infinity. So we're since the Lumiere brothers were like, oh, fade in on this, cut to that, here's what you see now, and here's what you see now. We were all born into this world and we don't even know. So now you put on this thing and it's like, oh, you can't. Everything has to be based on just like it has to be like that thing in New York where you're walking around in the Midsummer Night's Dream production and you can go through people's panty drawers.
Center.
It has to. Everything's gonna
Sleep No More. What's it called?
Faith No More.
It's called Faith No More.
Called Faith No More. Rockefeller Center. Everybody knows what we're talking about.
It's gonna be like that. You're gonna want to. It's gonna be like soap opera writing a little bit that way. The volume, because you're gonna like, oh, you can't.
VR people come to Lego like every other week. Like we're always talking about like the next stage of it.
Have you put on the helmet? So are you
into
like,
it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. I mean, I've been over at Justin's house and I've gone underwater and saw the whale.
Yeah.
I went over the mountain and I met the elephant,
so to speak.
Yeah. And I was like, and I took it off, and I was like you, and I go, porn. What's up with that?
Yeah.
And
so Duncan, maybe this is a cool.
And when can I check out of what I'm doing right now?
Duncan sent me a link to a Reddit thread. And honestly, this is also cryptic to me because I'm not familiar with any of this. I said I was just talking to him about VR, and I said. I was asking, is there just, my immediate question is, okay, this is fun, but are there games where my fat ass can sit in a chair? Like, I just want to drive or fly a helicopter. Like, I can only stand in a virtual museum and walk around and go, whoo, before my feet get tired, like at a museum. So I'm like, let me sit, is there games where I can sit in a chair and be like in a flying chair and go shoot people or something? And he's like, he said, there's a space game, but I can't figure out how to make it work. He said, like, have you? And he just said, porn? ? And I said, porn. I only went as far as to experiment with pulling up Pornhub on a screen. Blah blah blah. Dress form and tilt brush. And then
I don't get the tilt brush.
What's a tilt?
Tilt brush is an art app. Okay, so it's like it's like a MS Paint. in virtual reality.
Okay.
That will blow your mind the most because you're painting. You can paint not only in 3D space, but you can also your brush. The thing that makes me freak out is the palette interface. You have where your wrist would be. You have this cube that you can rotate by swiping. It's an immediate indication of how much more convenient it's going to be to work in VR in terms of menus and like UI and stuff. It's because you're just like there's a cube on your wrist that it just goes flip, 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 and it's just like all these different you pick your brushes and then you pick like a fire brush, and you paint with fucking fire in the air, and it's like you can just make a tunnel of fire and stick your head through there. Then you can grab the whole space and shrink it down and rotate it and all this stuff.
So you get turned on by this tilt brush.
So
you're
one
just
of
like, oh man, the fire.
So they have different backgrounds you can change it to. So if you wanted to like sculpt or something, there's like a little pedestal there. You can't touch the pedestal. You're holding these things, but it's like it already makes you think like, oh shit, whatever the Disney of the future is. If people are still, if people are just going to obviously that's how you're going to model like the Mickey Mouses of the future. You're gonna. I haven't done Minecraft now, but I'm downloading Grand Theft Auto 5. Justin told me, he's like, I just stood in the strip club for like 10 minutes and just looked around. But that's the scary part because it's like, well, guess what you do next? You start shooting everyone. Like that's how, or you're playing the game wrong. So it's like already you just get fucking terrified. But or at least if you're over 40, you do. If you're your age, maybe you're like, yeah. So, and maybe that will save us. Maybe people need to go do that.
Yeah,
shit.
it'll probably save us.
Yeah.
That's definitely what'll probably happen.
Of course,
it'll save us.
Just like movies saved us. Yeah.
You want to get it out of your system.
Yeah. It'll save us.
Everybody with an Eli Roth DVD on their TV, like they got it all out of their system. Like, that's why violent crime went down so much. All right. So, the I just sound like grandparents, but I guess
Grandparent Auto.
Where's the goddamn? I can't find the park.
How do you make it shoot?
Where's my grandchildren?
But to answer your
question, where's my grandchildren?
One of the backgrounds in Tilt Brush, you get.
Who am I?
Get this strip club off of my lawn.
Where's my lawn?
You can change the backgrounds to anything you want, so you can be standing in infinite space and painting shit. You go white room, a black room. You can have like a marble pedestal in front of you if you want to make shit on top of that.
You can make it any kind of room you want?
You asked me a fucking question, man, and I'm in the middle of answering it for 10 minutes. And it's like the question is, Dan, tell us about your fucking sexually perverse brain, like, and why you're a monster. And I'm trying to get there. I'm trying. One of the backgrounds that you can change it to is like a dress form. Like, what do you call it?
A maiden form.
It's a torso. It's for pinning fabric to.
I think it's called a maiden form, right?
It's a maiden form. I think that a dress form. So it's
a dress form.
So you're switching buttons like, oh, there's Saturn, and I'm in the desert, and I'm painting and stuff, and then it's like, oh, the dress form, and I was just like, ah. And it's a life-sized torso in front of you, and
no head. No head.
Yeah,
there was no head.
Yes.
Oh my God. No head.
No limbs, no arms.
A headless torso. So hot.
I feel like you guys are interpreting this the wrong way, but maybe not. I don't know. I mean, take me to jail. But what I'm trying to do is say, like already, it's like.
Cody, run for the hills.
The technology is so primitive, but it's just like you're in virtual reality, but there's a thing that is life size in front of you that even thinly represents.
That has no brain.
So think about like Jessica Rabbit and Who Framed Roger Rabbit. You think about like the ideal of beauty, like sometimes actually not only it filters reality, but sometimes it seems like the whole point is that it's not real. And it's like there's going to be this whole. I mean, you look at today, like you have celebiosexuals and like we're in this modern world, and like people are finding out all these different ways to be turned on, and like now we're going to have the first generation born into a world where
what?
Yeah, people who just identify as like, look, here's my sexuality. Well, I don't know. You'd have to talk to one of them. I don't want to mischaracterize it and say fame gives me a boner. That sounds whatever. But it's like I'm a celebiosexual. I'm saying, God, why am I fucking explaining myself to you? The fucking like it's a dress form. It couldn't be less. It's like the vague hint of femininity in the vague hint of like a thing in front of you, and immediately, of course, I was just like, just like kind of like you put your hands out there because that's your instinct. I always say because I'm trying to like decriminalize myself, but that's what I did. Like it was like this, and it was like, oh man, here we go. Like this world. I'm glad I'm on the way out. I don't know if I'd be equipped to like handle the things that are ahead for kids, like how they're gonna have to sort themselves out around this shit, because you're gonna be able to do anything you want, like all the time. And I think also the planet's gonna be dying, so so it's going to behoove us to the more time we spend in this thing, the less time we're going to be driving our fog machines that are like destroying the earth. So it's going to Dan. And when we put people in prison, which we love to do, we're going to be like, okay, you get to be in a virtual prison, so your cell can be smaller in real life. We're going to take advantage of it.
Do you think that we're ready for fog machine car technology?
As long as there's signs in front of every freeway that says.
When you say you put your hands out at this dress form, you're not.
You're holding like these Wii paddles right now. They haven't done like you're not Minority Reporting yet with like fingerless gloves yet. But I'm sure that's coming. But it's actually more handy right now that they have like these very elaborate because that would just be 2 buttons, on off. This is like they still have these paddles. You're shaking your head. Well, okay, fine. All right, that's a different episode. No, it's fine. No,
budget related. They have options, but
right.
Not accessible.
As soon as they get rid of the wires, like right now, it's like ridiculous. It's like you have like a big braid of like thick cables coming out of the top of your head that like you have to like traipse around. It's like. Thank God I used to do stand-up, so I'm like not falling on my ass. Like I'm just like, so what else is going on, ladies? By applause. It's not there yet, but anyone that puts this thing on is going to be like, I get it. It's here. It's not going anywhere, and it's the first time this is the Sugar Hill Gang, and like there were people back then who were like, oh, well, what is all this dumb rapping thing? And it's like, no, it's happening.
It's the Sugar Hill Gang, everybody.
All right, so
the Sugar Hill Gang.
We got to end the show now.
Yeah.
We can edit out the whole ending where I talk about VR. We can just end with the RoboCop transgender metaphor.
It was pretty good.
It was great. It was the Odyssey of. Look, I haven't seen Transparent, but I think we beat them. I think we beat them.
What if we did like a Talking Dead? A little mini episode about like the Ed 209 transgender thing.
Yeah.
You want to do a little Talking Dead?
Yeah, we'll do that. If you stick around, we'll be here till 3 a.m. And
okay.
That's right. But yeah, how do we wrap things up? Let's do a little. I
want to hear some more vocoder.
Yeah, we'll. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
What the fuck, dude?
I just dropped SCHRAB for those of you listening.
You totally hit me with your. Ow!
Sorry, I hit a button that they warned me never to press.
In the button.
Testing.
All right. Yeah. Yo.
Yeah.
Yo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we get Rob with you to do to try take the mic too?
Yeah. What do you mean?
I don't think I can get my voice to change unless I'm on that microphone.
Yo. My name is Anthony Johnson. I live at 21253 Avenue. My street doesn't have a name. I live at 21252 Avenue. My street has no name. How about you? Have you grown up on a street without a name? I'm describing a situation that is the same for a generation born into identity crises. I'm a Pisces. I fucked your mom with lyces. I got crabs till I Nike out the door. Tried to do 4. Can't rhyme 4 times. If you're
Improvising.
Yo, my name is Anthony Johnson. I've told you that already. I want to explain one thing to you. I fucked your mama on the morning dew. The grass gets wet in the morning, but so does your mama,
I bet.
if she's with Anthony Johnson. But don't
Thank you for
tell
coming to Harmontown, everybody.
Oh,
It's been a show.
9/11.
Let's hear it for Rob SCHRAB, shall we? Rob SCHRAB.
Yo.
I've been your comptroller, Jeff Davis. Your mayor is Dan Harmon.
Yeah.
Go get your high colonic.
Go get your high colonic, get the water in your butt, and get your doctor on it.
Not too bad.
Don't just go to a lady who
All right,
uses...
you're allowed to leave now. Drive fast,
Yeah,
take chances,
equipment.
everybody.